Okay, let's talk about a simple idea that could totally change how you approach investing. It's all about using an expertise you already have and turning your own personal knowledge into, well, an investing superpower. So, to kick things off, let's just think about a situation that I'm pretty sure none of us would ever want to find ourselves in. It's a simple question, but the answer really tells you everything you need to know about expertise. I mean, no way, right? The very idea is just absurd. When the stakes are that high, we're talking about your health, your freedom, you don't mess around with a generalist.
It's instinct, you know? We automatically seek out the focused specialists for our biggest problems. We find an expert doctor for a health scare and a sharp lawyer for legal trouble. We do it because we know, deep down, that specialized knowledge is what really counts.
So, here's the million-dollar question. If we get this so clearly for our health and our freedom, why do we so often just throw that logic out the window when it comes to our money? Trying to know everything about the market is a surefire way to end up knowing nothing well enough to actually win. All right, so what's the solution? Well, let's get into the core concept, one that's championed by one of the greatest investors to ever live. This is all about defining your personal strike zone, the place where you have the home field advantage. And that, my friends, is the circle of competence. It has nothing to do with what's hot right now or what's getting all the buzz. It's the area where your knowledge gives you a real, tangible edge over almost everyone else. And you know what's so amazing about this? This incredibly simple idea is the bedrock of Warren Buffett's entire philosophy. It's not some complex algorithm or a secret Wall Street formula. It's just stick to what you actually know. And understanding here means way more than just reading an annual report. I mean, anybody can do that. True understanding is when you get the business model, you know the ins and outs of the industry, and you can see the big picture. For example, if you hear the government's pushing a new real estate scheme, and your mind immediately jumps to, aha, cement and steel companies are going to benefit, that is competence. Okay, now let's flip that coin and look at the most common trap investors fall into. It's the total opposite of this focused approach. It's that temptation to be in on everything. I mean, just look at the market. You've got banking, tech, pharma, oil and gas, textiles. The list is endless. It's completely overwhelming. Trying to understand the details of all of those industries at the same time is, well, it's pretty much impossible. Each one is its own little universe. You know that old saying, it's the perfect warning for any investor. If you try to play in every single sector, you'll end up being a master of none of them, and you'll just be making shallow, uninformed decisions all over the place. Think of it like this. You'd never ask a world-class cricketer like Babar Azam to go play a soccer match against Lionel Messi. He'd get destroyed, not because he isn't a phenomenal athlete, but because he's on the wrong field. He's way outside his circle of competence. You've got to play the game where you have the advantage. But here's the really, really good news in all of this. You already have an advantage. Right now, as you're listening to this, you have a circle of competence, even if you've never thought to call it that. This is it. This is the most critical question you can ask yourself as an investor. And the answer isn't going to be in some textbook or market report. The answer is found in your own life, in your own experiences. Seriously, you are sitting on a goldmine of information. The key to unlocking your real investing potential is probably hiding in plain sight, in your daily routine, in your job, in the things you're passionate about. Let's take a company like Nestle, for example. We all use their stuff probably every single day. We know they're always profitable, and we know they have a stranglehold on certain parts of the market. And here's the magic part. You know all of this without ever having to look at a single financial report. That everyday practical knowledge is your advantage. So, the big question is, how do you take this knowledge you already have and build on it? How do you actually define your circle and then maybe, just maybe, expand it? Well, there are two really clear paths to start with. First, look at your profession. What do you do for a living? If you're a banker, you've got a massive head start in understanding banking stocks. That's your edge. Second, just follow your passion. What industries are you just genuinely curious about? Dive deep into that because that natural curiosity will make the research feel less like work and more like fun. Okay, finally, let's talk about why this whole idea is more important right now than ever before, especially if you're investing in smaller, developing markets. There's a really unique window of opportunity happening. Simple question, right? Of course, it's easier to find the best choice when you only have a few options. It's just common sense. Well, this exact same principle applies to the stock market. Just look at the scale of this. A market like Pakistan has about 400 listed companies, but markets like New York or India have thousands upon thousands. It is fundamentally easier to do your homework and find the hidden gems in a pool of 400 than in a massive ocean of 5,000. And get this, Warren Buffett himself said that part of his early success came from the fact that the markets were just smaller back then. It was simply easier to find great companies and really get to know them inside and out. Because as these markets grow and more companies get listed, that advantage starts to disappear. Finding that needle gets exponentially harder because the haystack keeps getting bigger and bigger. So for investors in these growing markets, now is the time to focus. This is your window of opportunity. So this leaves us with one final thought. Stop chasing every hot tip and every fleeting trend. Your most valuable asset isn't something you can buy. It's the knowledge you already have, sitting right there between your ears. The only real question is, which circle are you going to start building today?